Hi, Sketchlab friends. Well, today Pikachu couldn't pick between candy or cupcakes this Halloween, so he became a pumpkin cupcake jack-o'-lantern instead. Well, let's draw this ridiculously cute mashup together. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 dots, and we're going to draw a foreshortened circle. And so this is the beginning of creating the cylinder for the bottom of the cupcake. Okay, we're going to draw the sides of it. They're going to taper down. That means they're going to get closer together at the bottom. And then the key detail is we want to match this line that curves down. And now we're going to turn the base of this cupcake into a jack-o'-lantern. I'm going to kind of go more of a traditional jack-o'-lantern. So I'm using triangular shapes for the eyes and the nose. And I'm going to give him a smiley face with 2 teeth. And now I'm going to start this line that curves down. And then we'll add the 2 squares for the teeth. Well, Pikachu couldn't decide between being scary or sweet this Halloween, so he became a pumpkin cupcake. When he raced off this construction line, so I'm going to curve a line out to the left, and I'm going to kind of match that line that curves down. You see it almost creates a hot dog shape. So that's going to be the frosting top of our cupcake. And then we're going to add Pikachu on top. So we're just going to draw a guideline. So we're just trying to come up with the basic size and placement of Pikachu. That's all this is for. Okay, so that step established our proportions, our size relationships in the drawing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the cheek first. So it's going to curve out to the left. And then we're just going to go in and finalize this line here, curving it to the left. On the other side, same thing. We're going to curve out a little line for the cheek. And we'll kind of finalize this line here, curving out to the right a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and add in Pikachu's ears. You can see I'm curving a line out slightly to the right and now back to the left. We're going to add the marking for the tip of Pikachu's ear. Well, I hope you're enjoying this how to draw video. When life gives you pumpkins, Pikachu bakes cupcakes. And we're going to go ahead and curve this line out to the left and then background to the right. Once again, we're going to add the shading in for the tip of the ear. So we're going to go in and add the expression now. So I like to move my hand in a circular motion first, and then I'll drop my pencil down on the paper. We're also leaving a white reflection in the eye. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and add these 2 lines that curve down. It's for the mouth of Pikachu. So today we're mixing Pikachu and pumpkin spice. Pikachu Cupcake style. We're going to add a few more details. I have to add those cheeks. Alright, so we're going to go in and we're going to start drawing the whipped cream now. So I'm curving a line out to the left. I'm going to do that again, curving the line out to the left. And then one more time. Now I'm going to curve that line down slightly. And you can see where it comes back up to the right. Curving it out to the left and then back out to the right. Creates a little bit of that S curve for the top of the whipped cream. And then I'm going to go in and erase out some of these construction lines. So we're going to add Pikachu's hands now. His paw. Erasing out some construction lines. And now we're going to add a little pumpkin. Erase out these construction lines here. So this is an example of overlapping. So the paws, this little pumpkin here, and overlapping helps create more space, makes this appear to be more 3-dimensional. And I did a cross contour line, curving line out to the right, and then one out to the left to create the little ribs on the pumpkin. And then you could go ahead and add your little jack-o'-lantern expression onto the pumpkin. So now's a good time to stand back from your work, and if you need to make any adjustments, clean up any construction lines. So I'm just outlining with a Sharpie marker. I'm going to be coloring with Posca markers today, but you can use whatever you have. We're basically just using color as value. So I have two values here, light yellow and beige. So that's ivory and beige. Going in with yellow, I'm going to go ahead and just put down that base layer. I'll go back and add the second value here in a second. So this is bright yellow in the Posca paint marker set. And then we have some yellow ochre. So this is ochre, which is a dark yellow. We also have dark orange now on the base of the cupcake and the pumpkin. And then we have brown and dark brown. Adding in the cheeks with some red here. And just re-outlining. Well, hey, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Hi, Sketch That friends. Well, what happens when your midnight snack grows fangs? Well, let's draw this creepy cute werewolf cupcake. It's fluffy, fierce, and full of frosting. So we're going to draw these two dots and then a foreshortened circle, and this is going to start at the base of the cupcake. The two lines on the side of the cupcake are going to taper down. That means they're going to get closer together at the bottom. You see this line that curves down? We're going to go ahead and match that line that curves down. Now we're going to go ahead and draw the lines on the cupcake liner. And now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to add the overlapping. So this is kind of like the cake layer overlapping the cupcake liner with these lines that curve down. So now is a good time to erase off some construction lines. Yeah, I was going to say, this is what happens when your midnight snack bites back. So we're going to start off with this two dots, determines the height of the head of our werewolf's head. And you can see we curved a line to the left and then to the right. And we're using these basic shapes to establish the size and placement of the head and the hands here. This little paws. And in art, we call that proportions, size relationships in the drawing. Now that we've established those proportions, we're going to curve a line out to the left. We're going to be drawing this werewolf in 3/4 view. So just by curving a line to the left, we're able to now turn its head to the left. This eye on the right will be larger because objects that are closer to us are bigger and they get smaller off in the distance. Yeah, I think the only full moon this cupcake cares about is the one made of icing. And if you listen closely, you can hear it growling for sprinkles. So you can see the shape of the nose is kind of like a rounded triangle. going to go ahead and curve a line down. And this side, same thing, curving a line down. The right side of the mouth is going to be larger than the left side because once again, it's closer to us. And this cupcake's about ready to grow some serious fangs. Let's go ahead and finish off the shape of the mouth. And there's our first fang, and then this one here is going to be a little bit smaller. This werewolf cupcake is half snack, half menace, and 100% adorable. Just don't leave it out during a full moon. So now we have the tongue drawn. And I'm going to go ahead and start erasing off some of these construction lines. And then this eye is going to be drawn a little bit smaller. Well, if you have any more ideas for Halloween drawings, go ahead and drop those in the comments. And we used a little bit of overlapping because the eye is behind the snout. Okay, I'm going to curve a line out to the right. Now I'm curving these lines to create the little claws. I'm going to curve a line up. Once again, making the little claws. And curving line up. And curving line out to the right and then to the left to create the claw. Same thing on this one. Yeah, guys, this cupcake did not come from the bakery. I think it escaped from it. Definitely escaped. All right, so here's the triangle for the first year. Once again, this one's going to be larger because it's closer to us. And then this triangle is going to be smaller. Yeah, don't worry, this werewolf only bites if you forget the frosting. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start creating the fur texture. So you can see how the fur is facing one direction. It's pointed in one direction to the right. And now you can see we're still facing or pointing the fur in the same direction. Now you can see it's kind of pointing kind of down to the right. Now we're kind of pointing down to the left. See, these ones are kind of pointing down and to the right. And now's a good time to stand back from your artwork, make any adjustments as needed. Can you erase off any construction lines you have? Now I'm going to give this a cool, mean expression. So when you angle the eyebrows like this, makes them look kind of more angry and meaner. So now our werewolf looks a little bit scarier. If you want it to be kind of more of a cute, you can maybe like just use a line that curves up for little eyebrows. And now I'm going to add a little bit more fur texture. So I'm just using some lines. You can see I'm pointing these lines in the same direction as the hair is pointing once again. And now we got to add that tail. So I'm curving a line out here to the right. And now once again, we're going to point the hair in the same direction as we're going up here. It's kind of pointing up and to the right. Adding a little bit of line here for fur texture. And it's going to erase off some construction lines, and then we're getting ready to outline. So I'm just going to outline with a Sharpie marker. And whenever you outline with a Sharpie marker, we're now creating contrast. It means we're making this readable, kind of like black words on a white piece of paper. And this gives us another chance to kind of refine our drawing and go back over the outline. I'm going to be coloring using value today. I'm starting off with brown. These are Posca paint markers that I'm using. And obviously you could use whatever you have. If you have just regular markers, colored pencils. This is the pink coral, some red. I'm going with some ivory. Now in the cupcake, I have light orange and orange. And I'll do the shadow with the red orange. Going with some turquoise. I start off with some gray and a little bit of black. So I did a little bit of color mixing to create a little bit of a sheen on the nose, a little white highlight. And this is the cacao brown, going back over that fur texture and creating the shadows. And now as you can see, as we start putting back that black outline, all of our original drawing details are now readable. Once again, that is called contrast. Well, I want to thank you so much for drawing with me today. If you enjoyed this lesson, go ahead and watch another video. Well, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Ready to get creative this Halloween? Learn how to draw a super cute pumpkin cupcake step by step in this fun and easy tutorial. So we're going to start off drawing the cylinder for the cupcake. So I'm going to draw these 2 dots and a foreshortened circle. We will be using construction lines today, so the top part of this will be erased. All right, let's draw these 2 lines for the side of the cupcake. Oh no! And then we're going to curve a line down. We want that to match the same curve at the top here. And this is the construction line I was talking about. I'm going to erase off. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add on the top part. It could be the cake part, it could be the frosting. I'm going to curve these lines down. And in between these lines that curve down, that's where we're going to draw the lines for the cupcake liner. So right there, right in between them. And these are going to add a little bit of depth and dimension today when we color them in. So I'm going to start off with an oval shape. So we're going to be drawing the pumpkin in sections today. I'm going to go ahead and curve a line out to the left, keeping that same oval shape idea. On this side, I'm going to curve one out to the right. And by doing this, we're creating overlapping, so the front section looks like it's closer to us. And this is going to help add some depth and dimension to your drawing today. So I'm curving a line out to the right. And then on this side, I'm going to go ahead and curve a line out to the left. All right, we're going to go ahead and add the stem, making it look a little bit organic. And we're ready for the expression. So we're doing this kawaii style. I'm leave a little white highlight inside of the eye. And we're going to add a little smiley face. All right, we're going to go ahead and top this pumpkin with whipped cream. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw kind of a cone shape. That's going to establish the size and the placement of where I want the whipped cream. And now at the top, we're going to kind of make a shark fin. So we're going to curve a line out to the left, curving a line out to the left again. Now we're going to start creating the layers. So I'm curving a line out to the right. You have a little bit of a cross contour line there. Curving a line out to the right again. So a cross contour line curves around the form. Curving out to the left. And then once again out to the left, to the left. So now is a good time to go ahead and stand back from your work and make any adjustments as needed. I'm just going to go in with a Sharpie marker today for my outlining. And when it comes to coloring, if you don't have Posca paint markers, that's okay. You can use whatever you have. I'm using gray, and I'm using my white marker to create a medium and a light value of gray. Went in with yellow. I had some ivory to lighten it up, and ochre for the shadows. I've got brown and dark brown. So you notice we're using value today. So I have bright yellow, which is orange. And then dark orange for the shadows on the pumpkin. Adding some little rosy cheeks. And just finishing up the outlining. Well, I want to thank you for joining me today. Well, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. Ready for some spooky sweet fun? Well, today we're drawing an adorable Halloween bat cupcake in kawaii style with bold Posca markers and step-by-step tips. You'll learn how to make your cupcake look extra cute, drippy, and ready for trick-or-treat season. So let's grab your markers and let's get drawn together. So you see we're going to draw these 2 dots and then a foreshortened circle. This is going to start the cylinder for the base of our cupcake. These 2 lines taper down. That means they're going to get a little bit closer together at the bottom. And now the key detail here is we're trying to match that curve at the top. We want to match that curve down the best we can. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase off this construction line. So we're building with shapes and forms today. We may have some construction lines we erase. All right, so we're going to start off with a basic shape for the top of this cupcake. And now we're going to go ahead and change the outline of it. So that basically just established the size and placement of the top of the cupcake. And now at the top here, you see I'm curving a line out to the left. I'm going to do that again, curving the line out to the left. And you can see how I'm following that guideline down. And once again, just curving it out to the left. Curving line out to the left again. We're going to draw these lines that curve down. So this is the actual cupcake itself. We have the frosting on top of that. Once again, I'm going to go in and start erasing off some construction lines. Fumble. All right, so at the top here, you can see I'm going to curve a line out to the left, and I'm going to bring it out to the right, kind of like an S. And once again, you're just going to curve a line out to the right here. All right. So now we're going to start turning this into the character today. So we're drawing this awesome Halloween bat cupcake. So we're going to do this kawaii style. So we're going to leave a little white dot, little white highlight inside of the eye. And this is a little vampire bat. So we're going to give it a little smiley face, and then we're going to use these 2 triangles here to finish off the teeth. Add in those rosy cheeks. Yeah, this definitely isn't your average snack. It's part cupcake, part bat, and it's all kawaii. All right, guys, it's time for the bat wings. I'm going to go ahead and curve a line out to the right. Careful with those wings, guys. This cupcake might just fly off your paper. So we're going to curve a line up. You can see, once again, curving line out to the left. Now this one is getting curved, once again, out to the left. So I want you to pay attention to the direction I'm curving these lines. So this one's curving out to the right now. And once again, back out to the right. This last one, little one curved up. Well, now's a good time, like I said, to stand back from your work, make adjustments as needed, and now we're going to go ahead and outline. I'm just using a Sharpie marker. The good thing about Sharpie markers is they don't bleed. If sometimes with some markers, the Posca paint marker can pick up that bottom color. So I'm going to have 3 values of purple today. So I've got this purple, the dark purple, adding in some shadows with the dark purple, and adding in some highlights with the light purple. So 3 values there. Navy blue on the wings, and some gray and red. Just re-outlining, and we're there. Well, hey guys, I want to thank you for joining me today. If you want to check out some more of these awesome Halloween drawing videos, check out the playlist. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, Sketchlab friends. Do you want to learn how to draw the cutest spooky treat? Well, in today's tutorial, I'll show you how to draw a zombie cupcake step by step. A fun and easy Halloween art project, perfect for kids, beginners, or anyone who loves creepy cute designs. So we're doing 2 dots and a foreshortened circle, and this is going to start the cylinder of our cupcake. See, these lines are going to taper down. They're going to get closer together at the bottom. We draw this bottom curve. We're curving the line down. We're trying to match the top of the cupcake. Now we're going to go ahead and add the lines for the cupcake liner. So there will be some construction lines today. So the top of this cupcake, we're actually going to be erasing off. And now we're just going to draw a basic shape. This is going to be the foundation of the frosting. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start adding the expression in. So our zombie is going to have one giant eyeball. So I like to move my hand in a circular motion, and then I place my pencil on the paper. And our little zombie is going to have little blood vessels showing in his eyes. Now we're going to add a cute little expression. I'm going to add a little smiley face. Draw another little line that curves down. Inside the mouth, I'm going to add a little tooth. And then a little tongue, so I'm going to curve a line up. And then for the other eye of the zombie, I'm going to go ahead and just have one eye closed. So I'm going to curve a line up. All right, now we're going to go ahead and change the outline of our shape. So you see I curved the line to the right. I'm going to go ahead and curve a line to the right again. This kind of creates that shark fin. And now look at this. I'm going to start curving these lines out to the right. And that's going to create those layers of frosting on top of our zombie cupcake today. And don't forget those gummy worms today. It's going to be awesome. Using these wavy lines. So now we're using overlapping. So that's helping to create space in our drawing. I'm going to go ahead and erase off some of those construction lines, cleaning up my work. And now I'm going to go ahead and start curving these lines out to the left. Once again, creating those layers of frosting. So right here, I'm going to add a little detail where I'm going to be placing a gummy worm. So it kind of looks like I gave it a little eyebrow there. And on top of that spot, I'm going to go ahead and add a gummy worm. I'm going to use some cross contour lines that curve around the form. If I were to draw a straight line, it would make it look flat. You can see those cross contour lines make that cylinder look more three-dimensional. We're going to add another gummy worm. And once again, using those cross contour lines. And we're going to add one more little gummy worm sticking out of the frosting here above the right eye. So don't worry, this zombie cupcake is definitely more silly than scary today. It's sweet, scary, and maybe a little gross, but it's perfect for Halloween. So now's a good time to stand back from your work, make any adjustments as needed. I'm just going to clean up some construction lines before I outline. And today I'm just going to go in with a Sharpie marker. So get ready to grab your Posca paint markers, and if you don't have Poscas, don't worry. I'm basically just using color as value today. So I'll have a light green and a darker green. I'll have a light purple, a dark purple, and I also have pink and a darker red, and yellow ochre and orange. So you can see the darker value really helps to add in the shadows. And we're also adding some texture in there, dotting the paint marker. And once again, adding in those shadows. And wow, look at that, guys. I'm gonna go back in, outline that with some Sharpie marker. And I'm gonna go back and add a little bit more color onto that one gummy worm right there. Bam. Well, hey guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.